What is up, my pals? It's January 2022. I think the last time I filmed a video like that, it was January 2021, and I was I think about 6 months in as a staff nurse in the Singapore healthcare system. So it's been about a year after. So now I've been working for about 1.5 years. In July this year, it will mark my 2 years, which is halfway through my bond. And I just wanted to film this like just this video, like catching up on how everything has been. I remember last year I filmed, and I think I talked quite a lot about like my anxiety and stuff going into work, and I kind of wanted to do an update and like a check-in on how everything has been. Yeah, I don't know where to begin. Okay, it's things are very different now compared to 1 year ago. I've moved to a new place. I was transferred about a few months back. So instead of being in a normal ward in the main building, I'm currently at CDC, which stands for the Communicable Disease Center. Currently my ward is a enhanced pneumonia surveillance ward. Okay, so what that means is that anyone who comes into the hospital who has any kind of ARI symptoms, so like literally you can come in for like something else, but if your temperature is like 37.7, they will like send you to my ward and we will isolate you for 2 days. Only once your 2 COVID swabs are negative, and these 2 COVID swabs are like 24 hours apart, right? Only once these are negative, then we can transfer you to the main building. So we like book a bed in the main system, in the system, and then we'll try our best to transfer you to the main building like ASAP. So it's just this like, it's supposed to be this very like transient area lah for patients and stuff. So that's where I'm at now. It's been a lot better for me physically. Last year I was dying and physically, like I was in such a bad place. Like I think after I filmed that video in January, right, like I think in March, like I had to go to like a private hospital to do like scopes and stuff like that because my gastric was like off the charts and I kept vomiting, I kept getting fever. I remember it was so bad. My N95 marks were so bad. I kept getting cold sores because of the work environment and everything. It was just physically so bad for me, which I think then affected me mentally a lot. Yeah. And it's really by God's grace and blessings that somehow, I don't know how, okay, like I didn't even apply. Okay, I technically applied early last year to try to transfer out, but they said like, I was still too young, so I couldn't. But suddenly, I think it was in September, I just suddenly got notified that like, hey, like you're gonna move to like this new place, and I was like, huh? Because I didn't even go for any like interviews and stuff. But somehow, thank you Lord, yeah, I got transferred to this new place lah. And physically it's been a lot better for me because we are in outbreak scrubs. It's not as physically tiring in a sense. I don't take care of as many patients, even though the pace is still very fast, and it still does get crazy sometimes. The workload is definitely much more, it's much better compared to last time. There's aircon. So yeah, like and instead of wearing the the N95 one, the normal one with like it's just a white one with like the yellow straps, which is so uncomfortable. And I think because my cheekbones are like very prominent, right, like it really like hunks on my cheekbones, and that's why I had like such bad like pressure sores and like cuts and stuff on my face. But now at this new place, our supply of like a more comfortable N95 is like usually always there, so it's been just generally so much better for me. But one very interesting thing is that mentally, I still do get anxieties, and as of late, like recently I realized like I randomly still get like panic attacks and stuff. So I like, even though it's been about 1.5 years since I started working, I can say that it definitely has gotten better. Okay, so for everyone who is like just started or like about to start, like it does get better. Okay, but it definitely is still there. Like recently, especially the past few months, I've been realizing that especially before afternoon shift, which is very weird. Last time I used to get it before night shifts, but now I get it before afternoon shifts. I'm not sure it's because like afternoon shift, then you have like time in the morning to like think and be like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna go to work later, But like morning shift is like, oh, I wake up and I'm just like and I go to work. So like usually like I'm not so affected, but I don't know why for afternoon shifts as of late, like I do get like, I've been getting not very consistent. It also really depends on like which part of my period cycle I'm at. Okay, them hormones, especially like the 2 weeks leading up to my period, like that's when I realized that wow, I really have like a lot of like my negative thoughts really consume me a lot easier. yeah, so like I've been getting panic attacks sometimes before shift starts, even though the workload is more chill and like and all that, right? But I don't know, man, like I think it's just the nature of being a nurse, you know, the unpredictability of things. I can really don't know what's going to happen in my shift, what kind of patients I'm going to take care of and stuff, and I think that that's something that no matter where you put me at, right, like you can't get rid of that aspect of being a nurse. So I realized that I was like thinking very weird, like how come like physically I'm so much better. Last time it was like physically I was super shagged, which affected me mentally, and then that continued to affect me physically, so you know, like it's like a cycle. But now, gosh, my hair is so flat, sorry. Yeah, but like now, right, I realized like physically I'm okay, but mentally, like I'm still affected because of the nature of my work. Then that affects me physically, so like I haven't been getting cold sores like as often as last time, but I still do get it like on and off. And then recently I also had like this massive like outbreak of hives like all over my legs. It was so bad. Okay, but honestly, like, I'm not sure whether I can solely contribute it to work, because like my boyfriend's gonna leave to go overseas soon, so I think I just like have a lot of like stress on my mind, and I think like that all like kind of built up. But so far in my this new place, right, I've had two very bad like panic attacks, but thankfully like I have a sister who is like clutch, and like she has really like supported me lah, since I opened up to her about it. Yeah, but I've just been trying to be a lot more intentional in how I handle like the whole anxiety thing, trying to, you know, like be more aware of like, okay, like during this particular period I'm gonna feel this way, so like what can I tell myself to, you know, take it away, go for them mental health walks, like even though I'm so physically tired, but like force myself to go for walks, because that's when I really connect with the Lord and like nature and everything, and that's when I realize like, oh, it really puts myself in a much more positive mood. And one really good advice that my sister gave me is to just chill. Excuse me. Like she was telling me like, oh, she realized that, you know, I'm always like a bit overly prepared, like I always come very early, I always make sure I write down all my things and stuff like that. And she said like, I mean, obviously never compromising patient safety and my patient's health, but like I need to learn how to like chill and like not care so much in a sense, because she said like usually, I mean, even though it is praised at work, right, like you know those for people who are like, wow, like you're super always prepared, super on the ball all the time and everything, but she said like sometimes there's this pattern where like these are the kind of people that can't stop thinking about work outside of work, which is kind of true in my case. So like she said like, you know, like these are the kind of people that sometimes she's observed that like outside of work they always have like trouble sleeping, you know, because you just keep thinking of what's gonna happen when you go to work. These are the kind of people that like have like these like panic or anxiety attacks like leading up to work and stuff like that. So I realized like, wow, like I really need to just chill, man. Like obviously not giving up, you know, the passion and the kind of care that I give to my patients and everything, but just like take things slow and just remember and remind myself that like I really got this and I've been trained to do this. I still have a lot to learn, but just reassuring myself that like, yeah, like have that confidence in myself lah, that I can do this, you know what I mean? So I don't know, yeah, it's still a journey, and I think that like honestly after my bond, right, like which is like 2.5 years more, right, I don't think I will ever reach a point where like it's totally resolved. But I think I just kind of wanted to remind myself through this video, and also remind anyone else who is watching this who might be struggling with the same thing, that like it really is a never ending journey. I don't know whether that sounds good or bad, but it can also be an interesting one to where you really like find yourself in the process. And I think that that's something that's very important, and something that you really need to recognize and acknowledge, and like just go and sail along the journey, man. Yeah, so it's, I wouldn't say, okay, physically I've gotten better, I'm in a much better place now, but mentally I still am trying my best to improve and get better. How long have I been talking for? I can't, oh, okay, 8 minutes. Yeah, and just wanted to keep myself accountable. Maybe next year January I'll feel myself again, and hopefully things will get better, you know. But I am also very excited because of like a lot of different projects and stuff that I'm slowly getting involved in at work, you know. And I think that time outside the work also might be good for me, you know, when I'm like doing all these other projects like in these other aspects and areas of nursing. Yeah. But yeah, just wanted to encourage anyone else who I saw there were like quite a lot of comments in like my previous video from a lot of people, especially students, who said that like, wow, they can really like resonate and really like empathize because they feel the exact same way. And just wanted to remind everyone that there are definitely people out there who are looking out for you. You just need to be confident enough to speak up and reach out for help. It really took me a lot to like speak up to my sister about it, because like I feel so paiseh, right? And everyone thought that I was coping really well, and like there's this one time when I had this one panic attack at work before my shift, all my colleagues saw me, right, and then they freaked out because they're like, oh my gosh, like, why are you like that? Like usually at work you're always so smiley and so happy, you know, and everything, and like that's the first time they really saw me like crumble lah. And they were all like really shocked, and I was just like, sorry, like this happens sometimes. And I was like a bit embarrassed, but I think after that, like, I really saw like my colleagues like try to look out for me and make sure that I'm okay, and now also like my sister also, and yeah, like I think it's just a never-ending journey of like growing lah, and finding out more about yourself and maturing in the process. And it's crazy because I'm turning 26 this year. I cannot believe it. In 4 years I'm gonna be 30. What the heck? And I don't even know whether by then I will have this whole thing figured out, but we'll see. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you all for listening to my rambles, and let's hope for a good 2022. And I hope that any healthcare professional or any nurse that's watching this, that you're doing good. And I hope that you remember that you're doing good. You know, you're doing the good work, and sometimes we just gotta chill, man. Yeah, take care of ourselves, put ourselves first. Yeah, okay, I think that's all. Thanks for watching, friends. Love y'all. Peace out.